Welcome to today's video, which is the third in the series, Opportunities. In the previous video, we discussed examples from history where chances, accidents gave rise to opportunities, like penicillin, which is an antibiotic that was very helpful in the Second World War and we still use today, and products that were discovered by pure chance, like post-it notes. Today, we're asking ourselves the question, how can you recognize an opportunity that comes with great disappointment? And how do you take advantage of it? So think about a disappointment like a job loss, relationship breakdown, or your business going under, as has happened to some people during the COVID situation. The thing to remember is that in every problem lies a seed of opportunity. In every problem is a seed of opportunity. You just need to look and find it. Ask yourself, when something really disastrous happens to you, a big disappointment occurs in your life, ask yourself these three questions. The first one, what can I learn from this situation? The second, how do I move on from this event? The third, what could I do differently from what I've done before? So think about those three questions. I want to share a story about a disappointment that I've had in my life, which turned out to be a great opportunity. Years ago, I had a job that I loved, a job that I felt was my life, and I clung on to it. And one day, following a restructure, I was told that my job no longer existed and I had to move on. I was so disappointed. I felt unwanted. I was sad and even bitter that they had let me go. But with time, I had to really start looking for another job, which I did. And I got this great job where they matched my salary for the previous role. Not only that, but I was working in a much more friendly environment than I had before. And the icing on the cake was that after the redundancy, I came away with a redundancy payment, which I was able to save and put down as a deposit on my first house. So not only did I walk straight into a new job where I enjoyed myself more than I was before, I also had money now put aside for my first house. In fact, I always think of that first house as a project which was made possible by the disappointment of redundancy. So think about that. I'm not saying that every time you have a disappointment, you'll be able to come through it the next day or lose a job and walk into another in a couple of weeks. Not at all. Things happen differently for every person. But what I'd like you to remember is that no bad situation lasts forever. There is always a light at the end of the tunnel. And that's what I'd like you to focus on. So back to the three questions you should ask yourself when you're going through a tough time, which is challenging you and you feel like you're probably never going to come out of it. Ask yourself these three questions. What can I learn from this situation that I'm going through? How do I move on from here? And three, what can I do differently? So if I was laid off in one job, do I want to go for exactly the same job, or do I want to change things slightly? Do I want to try and go for maybe a higher role than the one I was in, a different role, perhaps start a new business, provide a service, whatever. It doesn't mean that because you have been doing A, you need to continue doing A. You could try and do something slightly different, or even something that you really love to do. So, what looks like a disaster today, when you look back years on from now, may actually be a blessing in disguise, as they say. So I'll leave you with that. When you're going through a difficult time, there's almost always a seed of opportunity if you will look and find it. If you've liked this video, please give us a thumbs up. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you'd like to be notified about upcoming videos. And that's it for today. I will see you in the next video.